Hello and welcome to a special anniversary edition of Nurburgring Blast. So this week marks a year of me doing Nurburgring Blast. So basically, if you didn't know, every Sunday I take a different car around the Nürburgring in a sim and just see how it stacks up. It's not really a time trial, it's just having a quick blast around there and seeing how it does, giving some impressions. And we've had some cars from Formula 1 cars down to little Honda Acti, so a very big mix there. And so as it's a year, I thought what I'll do is look at the cars that I have done and see if there's any that I feel like maybe I didn't go as fast as I could. So I've picked 4 cars for today, so it's going to be a bit of a bigger episode across a couple of sims, and I'm just going to see if I can improve that time basically give it a more representative point on the leaderboard. So without further ado, let's go and try the first car. What I'm going to be doing is going from the slowest car to the fastest car. So I'll put time codes in the description below if you want to skip ahead, but let's get to the first one. Right, first car is going to tackle the Nordschleife in its do-over. It's the Alpha 155 DTM car from Kunos, 4-wheel drive, V6, down into the first corner, second gear, get back on the power. Right, so while we're doing this one, so this was the first car that I drove on the channel from Assetto Corsa, and at that time I just built the PC, was kind of feeling my way into it, and I felt like at that point just getting a lap completed was the main thing. So I feel like when I drove this, it was quite tentative and we could do a lot better. So here we are again, we'll hold third, power, there we go, a lot more tentative. So I thought, you know what, this is a prime candidate, can have a do-over, and we'll see after the last few months of driving more and more PC sims, has my talent got any better? Dab of brakes as we go over the top into that fast right hand corner and see if we can improve. What time did it do before? A 7:57.2 in some fractions of a second. Up to 6, I almost forgot there's 6 gears in this car. So can we beat that 7:57 is the question. Dab of brake into Schredenkreuz, back on the power, come on. Down to third, maybe could have done second, but we'll hold third and use the torque on the exit. Right, up through the gears, through the foxholes we go. Fifth, try and take a nice line. Sixth, we're going to be flat out through the compression. Yes we are. Down to fifth, over the rise. Down 2 more gears quickly. H-pattern gearbox here. Down into second for the chicane, a little bit of understeer there on the entry. And then on the power, there we go. Right, up through the gears. 420 horsepower to play with. 4-wheel drive, so traction's not too bad, but if you get this car sliding, it will slide in. It's a bit of a struggle to get it back at times. Back down to fourth, rear end didn't want to cooperate there. Third. Remember, these drivers in these cars used to take on the Nordschleife. Pretty much very similar to how it is right now. Third, try and keep the revs up. And then stamp on the power on the exit. I remember watching a video where they're complaining that the barriers are only too high in some places. So those were ballsy drivers back then, Klaus Ludwig and the like. Oh, Jörg van Oman, Nicky Team's dad, Kurt Tim. Right, second out of there. Little lock up going into that section there. That's why I went quiet, just struggling with that. Back down third. Again, a little bit of lock up on the end of the braking phase there. Maybe just pushing a bit too hard. Oh, oversteer on the exit there. Right, power. Up through the gears. We can do this. Up to fifth. Going to be flat out through there. Oh, again there, got on the brakes a bit too hard. Full on locked up all the way into that corner. Right, up to fourth. Right, let's try and open out this Alfa Romeo. V6 twin spark all the way up into 5th. Nice and easy. Got some downforce in a car like this. Remember, at this time these cars were nearly the pinnacle of engineering, so they weren't far behind F1 cars in engineering terms, not in speed terms. Down to 4th, back on the power. Just didn't feel confident in the car there to take it in 5th. Go up to 5th. I'm going to take this blind right hand corner. There we go. Right, and then hard on the brakes. Just try not to lock up. Luckily these tyres only need to last 1 lap. Right, head towards the carousel. Down to 2nd. Let's try and keep it in the carousel. And hard on the power. Right, up through the gears we go. 4th, into the roller coaster section. So now we need to keep the car under control through here. Little blend there, just to stop it from going on the grass. Oh, a bit too deep. Keep on the lap. Oh, almost. Again, almost lost the rear end there. Both axles dancing at this point. Right, down the hill we go. 4th gear. Dab a brake, get the nose in. Another dab a brake. We want to get close to these curves, but not quite get over them. That one is the exception to the rule. Oh, up over the hill we go. There we go. Going to go down to 3rd because this corner can really sucker you into thinking you can take more speed through it than you can. Oh, we've gone off track at Brunchen. We kept it all together though. And on the power. Come on, come on, come on. Just bumped the limiter there in 3rd. There's no point in taking 4th. I almost thought about it. Wow, nearly rotated the car all the way around there. Whoa, right, exercise is coming out here. Again, bumping the limiter, gearing just not quite right for this section here. Whoa, rear end. It's all over the shop then. Up to 5th. Just have a nice little blend through there. Off camber section. There we go. 2 least favourite corners of the track coming up. Up to 6th. Down 2 gears, 4th. A little bit left foot braking. Get the nose in. Come on, in. Don't want to go in. We're going to have to take 3rd. Come on. Baby carousel. We'll hold 3rd. Oh, bottom of the car grinding on the ridge right there. Right, up to 4th. Final corner before dotting a her. We're going to try and hold 4th. Come on, just about. There we go. Power. Flat out now. Up to 5th. Right. We can do this. What's the time on the steering wheel there? 7:05. So got a minute now, basically. Well, just 50 seconds to get to start finish line. So it looks like we may be able to do an improvement here. Whoa, right, that was a workout. Rest a little bit as we go down here. Car bouncing on the bumps. Right, going flat out underneath the Bilstein Bridge. Right, see if we can get the chicane flat. Now I'm going to lift. Don't have the balls to do it yet. All the way down to 2nd. Come on, turn in. Right, final corner. Power. There we go, and that's a 7:51. So we managed to knock 6 seconds off the lap. So there was a small mistake there in Brunchen that maybe cost us a second or 2. But overall, that's an improvement for the Alpha 155 DTM car. And what we'll do now, we'll go and cut to the next car and see what we can achieve in that one. Right, let's get this second car underway. So what are we in here? We're in the Mercedes DTM car from 1995. So previously on the channel when we did this, it was a mod car in a Assetto Corsa. This time we're in race room and we're with official content. So this will be interesting to see if we can even go any faster, because official mod content can sometimes be a bit too faster than real life, shall we say. So into the first technical section, down to 3rd. and really attack these corners in this car. The car is quite confidence inspiring. It will bite you though if you abuse it. It will bite, and it bites pretty hard. Right, coming out the final section, focus on the exit. Use a bit of curb on the inside, use the camber on the outside. There we go. Up through the gears. Right, let's unleash it. So what time are we aiming for? So the previous one in the set course, so we did 7:01. Flat out, flung flats. Wow, a little bit of a lift, get the nose in, back on the power. Yeah. So we did a 7:01 and change. So it'll be interesting to see how we do in this one. We're going to go up to 6. If we manage anywhere near a 7:01 in race room, that's going to be a really competitive time, put it like that way. So off over the rise into Schredenkreuz. It's going to be easy flat. Let the steering load up. Yeah, just about, and then hard on the brakes. Down to third. We'll actually take second and then power out. There we go. So we don't have the H-pattern gearbox that the Alfa Romeo had. And that's definitely going to save us some time. It should be a sequential, but I don't have one, so I'm using the paddles on the steering wheel. Right, down through the compression, completely flat. Up over the rise, we're going to have a little bit of a lift. Take as much curb as we can, down 3 gears, power, and then down second to second for the chicane. Just try and keep it under control. We've lost all the aero grip now, and then back on the power. Right, up through the gears we go, towards the rebel tree, up to 4th. Let that V6 sing. 5th. Definitely feels a lot faster than the Alpha that we had just a moment ago. Down on the brakes. Down 2 gears into 3rd. Just try and get that nose in, avoid the curb on the right. We didn't, we hit it. Saw that kick of oversteer. Right, hard on the brakes. Just try and stay in the camber on the right hand side. There we go. Use the power on the exit right. Into hit, miss in a second. We're going to have a dab of brake just to control the front end, get a little bit more weight on the front, and again on the brakes, get it turned in, and use the power on the exit. There we go. Right, into a tricky section now. Down hard on the brakes, slowest point on the track. Focus on the exit again, on the power. Touch a curb there, but we managed to get through it. Right, up through the gears we go. 4th. Don't think we're going to quite get 5th. No. Down to 3rd. Get the nose in again, slowly apply the power, a little bit curb there, didn't want to get on that. Right, tricky corner here, can get a kick of oversteer on the exit, and which we do, but we managed to control it. Right, shoot to the sky. Up through the gears, 3rd, 4th. Right, flat out left coming up. This is the corner where Nicky Lauda had his accident, and we're through, and then hard on the brakes. Down to 3rd, we're going to focus on exit, just try and carry minimum speed. Wow, again the rear end wants to come out there. Luckily we caught it. You can see the track marks from a mistake earlier in practice. Right, up the hill we go. Let's open out this thing. So we should have grip, good grip all the way up here. We'll actually take 6th there, that increases the speed. It looks like we're kind of steadying out. Yeah, I think that's 233 kph all the way up here. Gonna need maybe a gear down here. There's one gear, turn it in, power back on, it sticks. Right, blind right hand corner coming up here, up over the top. Yeah, just a tiny confidence lift, and then hard on the brakes. Down to 2nd. Right, get the nose in, try and get on the power as early as possible. There we go. Right, carousel, and we're about halfway through the lap. Right, on the brake, back down to 2nd. Just try and stay in the carousel, don't pop out. Come on, power, 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 power. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. Right, struggled. Right, into roller coaster section. This is all about confidence and poise in the car. A little bit of a lift there, probably didn't need it. Going to hold 4th because there's no point in going to 5th for a moment. Up over the rise. Oh, a little bit of kick of rear end there. Right, get the nose in. Right, down the hill we go. Right, let's see if we can get close to some curbs through here. 4th. Avoid the curbs there. This one we can abuse, and we do. We abuse it well. Down to 3rd, just to try and coax that front end in. Rear end come round. Oh, nearly put it in the barriers then. Right, into Brunchen, otherwise known as YouTube to some people. Right, run the curb on the outside, and then hard on the brakes again. Get the car turned back in, and then power. Come on, come on, come on. We'll hold 3rd. Focus on the exit on this corner, shoot for the sky, use the curb on the right hand side. There we go. Up through the gears. 4th. Oh, 5th. Jump here. Down 1 gear. Pitch catch it in. Come on. Add a blend out the throttle there. Rear end went round. Wow. That was very close to crash there. Right, flat out. Cross the camber. Bit of a tricky corner at times. We'll take 6th. Starting to sweat a little bit. Right. Least favourite corners. First one. Second one. There we go. Right, and into the baby carousel. Actually going to take 2nd for this one. Oh, nearly threw us out there. Luckily managed to catch it. Right, final corner before dotting a her. Dab a brake, get the nose turned in and use that little dip in the where the apex is. Oh, wanted to be on the power. A bit of understeer there. Right. Up to 5th. Wow. Right, now we can relax as we go down Dottinger Her. 6th. That's the top out. We can see the castle of the Nürburgring just up there on the right, just behind the windscreen wiper. Oh. Right, last few corners. What time are we looking at? We're looking at 6:27 at this point, so we're looking at a decent time at this point. Need a bit more power. Come on. Need to try and beat that 7:01. It's doable. Right, flat out. Come on, we can do this. Might be just slower than the 7:01. Down to 2nd. Final corner, power. Come on. Oh, I think that's best lap on. I think that was a 7-minute. Unfortunately, I saw it on the dashboard and then it flashed away so quickly. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to back out and we'll check the leaderboard time in a second. There we go. So that is in fact another 7-minute 1-second lap. You can see there we're actually fastest overall. So if you want to go and try and beat this, be my guest. We're in race room with the 95 DTM car at the Nordschleife, so you can see nobody's actually gone faster in that car combination since the update in race room, so that's kind of cool. Doesn't improve it that much, but at least this is official content now. So let's get to the next car. Right, Mercedes W08, here we go. Up through the gears, across the start finish line. Down to 2nd for the first corner. There we go. On the power, on the DRS. So previously, this was the 2nd fastest car with a 5-minute 19.4. So we're going to see if we can make an improvement here today. I'm hoping so. If we can make more than 3 seconds, we'll actually go to the fastest car that we've ever had here on Nurburgring Blast, beating out the F1 2004. Right, up through the gears. Shift lights are pretty much useless on this car at this point. Flat out, DRS is open up to 8th as we get to the top of the hill. See if we can eke out a little bit more power. Being a hybrid, this is where it can sometimes struggle. It's a long lap and we can't use all the hybrid all the time. Hard on the brakes after Schredenkreuz. Then back on the power. Come on there. Right, through the foxholes. Up through the gears. 6th, 7th. I'm going to be flat out through the compression. Yep. And flat out over the top of the hill. Yep. Down a few gears. Down a couple more. Can really use the torque on these things though. Just have to be careful on the accelerator. Right. Again, mashing that DRS button. I'm literally holding it on anything that's vaguely straight. Attack the corner. Avoid the curb on the right. Try and keep in the camber here. And back on the power. There we go. Right. Coming off DRS. Flat out through there. Just going to have a little let blend. Back on the power. Up through the gears. Right. Down to 2nd. Just try and get that nose in. Back on the power as best we can. Squirming under traction there. Could have probably taken that in 4th and maybe carried more speed. We'll try this one in 4th. Torque. There we go. Right. Whoa. 6th. 7th. Flat out. Really attack the braking zones with this thing. Braking power is phenomenal. Right. Up the hill we go. Almost halfway. Almost to the carousel at this point. up to 7th. Unsure whether 8th is giving us any more top line speed, but we'll take it anywhere. Only got 66% of battery left at this point. Flat out, all the way up. Easy flat through there. I've still got my finger down on the DRS button, so hopefully that's still open. Feels like at the rear, feels a bit nervous. Right, down towards the carousel section. Come on, power. There we go. How's the car going to take carousel? It's a low car, very low. I don't think you can get lower than F1 car, really. So it struggles through there. Right, try and get on the power. Right, into the roller coaster section. Should be able to take some good cornering speed through here. 5th. Down to 4th, come on. There we go. Bumping on the curbs there. Oh. God, you get shaken about in this thing. When you get this kind of speed, you realise how bumpy the Nürburgring can be. Sorry if there wasn't much commentary through there. It was literally just hanging on. A little bit of oversteer then. Oh, shooting for the sky. Right, flat out. Oh, up over the rise we go. Open up the DRS. Now we're out of the really fast roller coaster section. Right, least favourite corners. Dab of brakes. Dab again. Not that type of dab. Just a dab of brakes. Maybe carousel on the power. Right, DRS open again. Right, can we use grip through here? Can't see the curb. Right, 7th. DRS is open. 8th. Oh, right. And now we can relax for a bit. Can't see if we can see if the... Yeah, DRS is definitely open on this thing. Flat out. Down Dottinger. We've got no time on the steering wheel, so I've got no idea of how we're doing. Remember, a 5:19 to beat. Got four-ish corners left. Flat out for the chicane. I'm keeping the DRS hammered down, and then on the brakes. Maybe a bit too deep into there, but we made it through. Final corner on the power. Come on, come on. What's that done? What's that done? Please be faster than 5:19. 5:17. So we'll take that. That's 2 seconds faster. So 2 and a bit seconds faster. So that was a good improvement. This car is insane. This car, I find it's harder to drive than the next car, which is in fact even faster. So I enjoyed that. So let's get to the next car. Right, focus on this lap. So Ferrari F1 2004 versus Nürburgring Part 2. Into the first corner, second gear, on the power. Down the hill we go. Up through the gears, 5th, 6th, flat out. Right, try and keep at the minimum speed through here. There we go. Almost lost it on the rear there. Focus on the exit. There we go. Right, through the gears we go. We need 19,000 RPM when we pull the lever for the next gear. Flat out over the front flats. What time have we got to beat? So previously I did a 5 minutes 16.7 in this. So let's see if we can beat that now. Up to 7th. Still flat out. Flat out through Schroederkreuz easily. And then hard on the brakes. Try not to brake, lock up the brakes. Focus on the exit. A little bit of curb. Want to try and avoid curbs really around here in this car. There are certain curbs that we can take, but most of them we've got to avoid. Flat out, still flat, and then brakes. Then a little squirt, and then back down to second. Hug that curb there. Oh, rear end wanted to break free as we came off the curb there. That's why you don't touch them. Right, flat out 6th, easy flat. Down to 3rd. Right, back down to 3rd again. Try and stay with the camber. Use all the power on the exit. Right, up to 6th. We're going to have a little lift. Didn't want to hit the curb really. Back on the power. Locked up the inside, unloaded tyre there. Wow, Carl squirming under traction there. Down to 4th. And then back on the power. Didn't quite get to the apex there, but it'll do. 4th, 5th, 6th. Flat out. Spot the braking point. Hard to see in the shade of the trees here. Focus on the power. There we go. Up the hill we got make hay while we can. Car still pulls. It should be easy flat out all the way up here. Should take 7th. Well, we're now 196, 197. That's MPH. Try and not scrub off any speed unnecessarily. Flat out through there. Revs dull just as we go through there. And then hard on the brakes. Down to 2nd. Right. Pick up the throttle now. Right, into the carousel. We've popped out. Yeah, we've popped out. I'll have to do though. Right, into the roller coaster section. 6th gear already. Down to 4th. Probably won't be much commentary through here because everything comes at you pretty fast. Understeer. Maybe attack that corner a bit too much. Stuck there between gears, didn't really want to go up to 5th. Literally holding my breath through that section there, up to 7th already. Car just sounds absolutely fantastic. Oh god, nearly lost the rear end there, nearly at the end of the track. Flat out through onto Dottinger. Wow, wrist is starting to hurt. Feeling the burn, up to 7th. Wow, almost there. Car's bouncing around on the very bumpy track. Right, we're going to attack the Bilstein Bridge, and then we've only got a couple more corners to go. Flat out. Down a couple of gears. Almost hit the pit wall there. On the power. Oh, and lock up as I go across the line. I can't see the lap time there, so I will pop it up on the screen. I think I've gone faster, but hopefully we have, and I'll put up updated Nurburgring Blast leaderboard up on the screen in a moment. But I hope you enjoyed this. This was an anniversary edition, so this marks 1 year of doing the Nurburgring Blast every weekend for the last 365 days. So if you liked it, I'd be honoured if you gave it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike as well. Just let me know how I could do it better in the future. If you really enjoyed it, drop a subscribe. We do this every week. If you've got any suggestions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to see them. I'll give anything a try really. And until next time, goodbye.